Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's game number 2 in a best of 3 series. London Conspiracy is up 1 game at 2-0. My name is Bart. His name is Brandon. And, well, Dignitas struggling with a tier last game.
Hi.
You didn't break anything, believe it or not. But what may be broken is, I don't know. I'm a good pun for this one.
Jungle comparison.
Jungle comparison. I was going to try to come up with some kind of, you know. Yeah, I had nothing for you. I'm sorry.
Frostiak and Suntouch, two of the biggest names in Europe. Frostiak, probably the most hot and cold player in Europe overall, has been known to carry games, has been known to be benched afterwards.
I love Katy Perry too, Brandon.
What? What did I? Katy Perry?
Yeah.
Frostiak?
Hot and you're cold.
Oh.
I'm there with you, buddy.
The worst. Suntouch, on the other hand, has been known to be a little bit more polarizing. People find it sometimes difficult to be on a team with him because he's very controlling. He likes to be a leader. But with London Conspiracy, I mean, you're looking at a lot of players who are maybe not new to the scene, but maybe new to competing at the SPL level.
Yes.
And they seem to be following him well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, they definitely in that last game. Well, I don't know. That one was like, is it really a leadership thing or just Snakeskin just wrecking the enemy team? But match and win. Nope, that's a W, not an M. Watch and win. All first bloods, triple, quadras, pentas, and
game ending. If you get 3 quadra kills, then you have a chance to win $25,000. And if you get a bonus double icon, you can win up to 50, right? That's what we're doing?
No. This is just by watching Smite, every time one of these things happen, you get to put a hashtag in the chat and win codes.
Oh.
No, it's not a...
like a scratch-off?
No, it's not a scratch-off. It's not a match and win. It is a watch and win.
This would be a fun scratch-off.
It would be a fun scratch-off.
I would buy this scratch-off twice.
It's a nice graphic.
Because I would buy it once, and I would almost win, or I would win like $2, and then I would...
Well, it's good you're in Georgia because our lottery funds kids going to college.
Does it really?
Yeah, it funds a scholarship.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I paid nothing for tuition. So let's go ahead and get into the P's and B's, Brandon. Pick some brands on their way.
Pick some brands?
Yeah, look, it's London Conspiracy and Team Dignitas, 2 honored brands on European competitive sports.
The Barts and brands?
The Barts and brands. Oh.
Oh, all right. And remember, your Barts and brands are powered by Curse Voice.
First band, Poseidon, coming from London Conspiracy. Team Dignitas with the second band position. No surprise they don't want to deal with Shadow Nightmares. Poseidon. Will it be a raw band as well?
And Arachne.
Yeah, probably Bacchus or Arachne. Maybe Circuit Arachne. They don't like the bugs.
Hey, Sylvanas. Okay, wow. So Sylvanas, wait, did we see Athena not picked or banned last game?
Yes.
That's insane.
Criminal.
Something that has not happened very many times. Sylvanas getting favored here as he does take the first ban slot. Ra going to be hit once again. Again, hard to say if that's for Shadow Nightmare or Variety.
Mm-hmm. Both? Why not? Why not both? Why not Zoidberg?
Why not Zoidberg?
Whoa.
That was all right. Final ban here is going to be Thor. Giving a lot of options here to London Conspiracy. I don't imagine, however, that it will be Ares.
Or Athena. It should be Athena.
I mean, it definitely should be Athena.
I would suggest, if I was their coach, I would say, guys, you should probably pick Athena here.
Athena can do many things, like travel around the map. Hunbots, though, not statistically a bad pick.
No, and again, they're going to pick it with their first pick, generally speaking, Dignitas here. Really with the power position now. I would pick Athena on her. Yeah. Maybe take the Agni here. Okay,
Athena, strong pick, of course. One of the more notable characters. Very few pros would disagree that she is the top support in the game, one of the top characters as well. Mm-hmm. She gets locked in early. Janus going to be picked up. Big fan.
Yeah, I love this guy.
Big fan.
Global repositioning, boys. Maybe a Thanatos to be drafted by Dignitas as well here.
Janus is no joke.
Thanjan?
Thanjan.
Oh, man. You got a whole just thing, don't you?
This is a good time today. Agni going to be taken as well. Decent pickup against Janus. Has a lot of damage, great repositioning, and functions extremely well. In fact, extraordinarily well with Hunbots. Having great CC chains, great movements. It's going to be very hard for Athena to deal with in the mid game.
Well, third and final pick for their first picking phase is a Xbalanque. So
wow, early
late game boys for London Conspiracy here. Hunbots scaling quite well. Agni as well. Xbalanque definitely there. No real, I guess, dedication to any game phase yet for Dignitas. Janus can kind of go both ways. Athena as well. Artemis, they're gonna say, okay, let's go late.
The paradigm usually dictates that Artemis beats Cupid, Cupid beats Xbalanque, but Xbalanque generally will beat Artemis. They both have very high damage in the end game, except one of them can hit from 95 units away as opposed to 55 units. So Xbalanque will, in the end game, have a much better time being able to kill people.
Dignitas no longer interested in dealing with a Geb coming out of London Conspiracy. They banned it away. Final ban soon to come in from LC. Solo laners still needed by Dignitas, as is a jungler, and they don't want to fight Bastet, who, well, Frostiak can definitely play it. Maybe in Ymir jungle here for Frostiak.
It's possible.
Something he likes to go to.
We've known him to do it a lot. He really loves it, and you can see Freshie's top god is going to be Athena. So yeah, Ymir does get locked in, and that will be your jungle. Athena will be going to the support role.
And I'm getting good at this. All right, so Hudbots, Agni, Xbalanque, it's got to be the tier going their way.
Obvious.
Now they just need their support. Bacchus, probably the next highest valued, maybe a Sobek, although we haven't really seen much of him in the support role.
You need healing for Sobek. There's really none on the table.
Yeah, what's the pick here?
I would say probably Bacchus. You know, Ares probably not going to function too well there. Yeah, Bacchus will get locked in. I mean, that was a pretty obvious pick. Very CC heavy. And I love, you know, we talked about it last week, Bacchus and Xbalanque together is incredible. Yeah,
fun little synergy there. The Intoxicate forces you to move. Xbalanque Ultimate says if you're moving, you get stunned. So, and well, Tyr can push you around as well during that and set up some more stuns. They have a lot of options, honestly. Hunbot's Ultimate also doing that same thing.
Damn.
So a lot of big Ultimate synergy out of London Conspiracy. Tremendous amount of CC, and they're going to need it to kind of run this pseudo 4 protect 1 strategy, get that Xbalanque to the late game, although their other 4 members very capable of fighting it to finalize things. It's going to be a support. No, I guess it's jungle Fenrir.
Solo Fenrir.
Solo Fenrir.
Unless, I mean, they're going to take the Ymir away from Frostiak.
Yeah, it could be solo Ymir. How are they going to lane this one?
Yeah, I would assume we're going to see solo Fenrir, Ymir jungle, support Artemis, and then we'll have another jungle as
in an elimination game, in a game they have to win, they go to the Fenrir. So Janus, Fenrir, both, you know, not highly valued in terms of picks and bans right now.
This to me is variety.
Strategy.
This is his time to prove me wrong. You know, show the community that he deserves to be where he is.
Yeah, dude. You're wrong.
He, you know, for me, small god pool. It's always been that way. It was like that in Season 1. It's been like that so far in Season 2, and he's going way outside, for at least my understanding, of his normal comfort zone. Going to take a page out of the Book of Divios here and try to do the...
This is just, I mean, it's a must-win situation for Dignitas to keep their control of their own destiny. London Conspiracy, it's a must-win situation for them to even keep their hopes alive for LAN. And Dignitas is going to go to Fenrir. After a pretty poor showing, as you mentioned, out of Variety in game number 1 on the Bacchusura, he's going to take arguably an even more difficult god to execute with and get through the laning phase against the Tyr. It's the Fenrir. Can they make enough out of it? Will Youngbei have enough on this Artemis in the late game to win it for Team Dignitas and keep their dreams of LAN alive? We are underway, Brandon. Blue squad is LC. Red squad is Dignitas. It's Snakeskin, Suntouch, Arrow, Emilzy, and Shaggy Shank on the side of LC. Dignitas, it's Variety, Frostiak, Shadow Nightmare, Frezzy, and Youngbei.
So normally I am the person who will say if you 5-man invade at level 1, you are going to lose the game no matter what you get. Right?
Okay.
Plain and simple. It is too much of an experience loss, even if you get kills and the jungle for the opposite lane. With that, I would have loved to see a 5-man grouping here from LC because you know that Frostiak has that 450 pot. You know it. It is a fact of life.
Yeah.
And they should have killed him.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. No one has really tried to contest it yet, and he keeps on buying it. It keeps on working.
Drives me nuts. They're just letting him get away with it. They let him get away with it every time. He's going to run the same strategy. It's just like if you had the enemies, you know, or rather the opposing team's playbook in football, and you let them run the same play 3 times. You got to punish the mistake there. But Frostiak's going to get to lane undeterred, and he's not going to have Hand of the Gods here. Ymir's clear is outrageously strong, and he will not need it.
Yeah, he has an 8-second cooldown on that ice carpet, and you're going to see wow, Snakeskin. This could be your first one. It is your first one. The bonus damage from the passive of Ymir plus Variety. That's one thing Fenrir does do in the first 3 levels, is surprise you with how much damage. There's a lot of GDs and F-this going out when you're getting brutalized by a Fenrir at level 2.
Unchained, too. I mean, this thing is hitting for, you know, with scaling over 100 damage at level 1. And then it's going to stun you as well and then brutalize?
Yeah, brutalize is filthy. Filth-sgusting, as I would say if I was a 17-year-old white girl.
No, I can't imagine that that's true.
Filth-sgusting?
Is that new?
It's new to you. You must be behind the times, Brandon.
If you have, speaking of behind the times there, The reset will force a small misplay there. But
that was the salty hand. That was a salty hand.
Yeah, he's like, fine, all right, fine,
yeah.
I got this. You don't need to buy hand.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy hand, and you don't need to hit your shots either. I'll do everything.
Frezzy in an epic battle with the backside, left side camps for Team Dignitas here, stealing them away from London Conspiracy. Looks like he leaves one for to frustrate someone a little bit later. Now he's gonna poke a bit of round arrow here, but you know, Athena not the fastest jungler in the world, and I guess we didn't really mention that. You know, it's this Athena has the global repositioning with the roaming Ymir plus this Fenrir. They can pile damage, burst damage on this tier really fast.
Yes, they can, and you know, shutting down Snakeskin has to be a priority. If they let him get started like he did last game, he's just gonna run the same train. Ooh, Frezzy getting away just barely there. Shaggy Shank and Emilzy laying the hurt down a little bit. Frezzy only level 3, it seems, slightly behind Emilzy.
It was a weird exchange there for Frezzy. He kind of was like, what if I just walk into the lane? And they just did a bunch of damage to him. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, no preemptive strike. Like, what was the plan there?
Well, I know what the plan was for Youngbei, and that's get solo farm. He's about to hit level 5, and we'll have about a 30% level advantage overall over Shaggy Shank. And Artemis has kill opportunity here, but with Rising Jaguar up, it's going to be very hard for her to deal with that. Remember, though, this is not the current the patch that was shown for the patch notes. She doesn't have that targeter just yet for the board.
Yeah, no, she can't direct it. Still a little bit of a
I'm excited for
crap
that.
shoot in traffic. Yeah, nothing like a bunch of QOL changes, huh? Ragnarok is used on the mid lane. Can they burst out arrow before he gets the dash off? He's gonna fire bombs, and it's enough for a return kill.
This could be really big. I'm not sure why Suntouch is backing off, even with low mana.
Yeah,
I mean, killing Frostiak would have been really strong. That potion's still going to be up for about another 90 seconds, so shutting that down could have been very, very helpful, but they choose the safe route. They'll take only the one for the one, and with that, we're going to see the second kill go onto Ymir. Now, we should consider the fact that Ymir endgame, not super strong. Damage still pretty high, but not nearly as a percentage as high as it is in the early game. In fact, one of the, if not the strongest character from level 1 to 3.
Emilzy with the cheeky plays. He's already used his belly flop there. He's going to die here. There's really no chance he makes it out of this one. They got plenty of CC. He's out of mana. He's trying to walk. The body blocks are here, and now he's dead. Well, he ran in, he hogged the back camps, and he was like, well, look at this. You're going to over-pursue, and I'm going to leap over this wall. But Athena had rotated out of the duo and cleans him up easy peasy, forced a flame dash as well out of arrow. And what we saw just a minute ago as well, and we didn't really touch on it, but Variety, early and often on those rotations, is the one that seals the deal in the mid lane there.
Yeah, Variety, level 6 right now, doing a damn good job in lane. 0-1-2, right? So he does wind up falling, but still has a pretty decent advantage, and he's got to maintain that as long as possible. The only issue is that they've drafted a Fenrir now with teleport and Hand of the Gods, right? I mean, there's not going to be a lot of kill potential in the end game unless he builds like full attack speed, and if he does that, then he doesn't have any survivability. It's a very awkward position that he's put himself in.
Yeah, there's no real way to stick to a target either with that sprint or beads or creeping curse or right? It's two very farming and laning centric active items out of Fenrir. So you're right. I mean, it's that's the danger here. Youngbei needs to be doing work by the time this Fenrir falls off, and that's going to be level 16, 17 or so, where Fenrir is just going to be a liability more than anything.
Well, speaking of liabilities, Frostiak takes a big hit in damage there. What the pot was giving him 50 damage. He got boots now only giving him 30, so he does take an overall magical power dip as the potion wears off at 508. Rough times.
Yeah, but he's found 2 kills and an assist, been involved in all 3 kills so far. He's having just a fine early game. That pot definitely paid off.
Oh, absolutely. That first blood was a direct result of the purchase of the pot. The issue is, can he turn that into endgame viability? Ymir not known as a strong endgame player.
It has to be, right? I mean, like, he bought the pot. He got 3. He was involved in 3 kills. If you can't transition into anything that has any kind of mid-game and early late-game potential, then why the hell are you picking Ymir? Right? That's the. I mean, it went perfectly.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of winged wand or what? Right? Winged wand or bust at this point.
I would really like to see him transfer into a tank. You know, let his team do the damage here. Speaking of damage, huge shot coming out from Shadow Nightmare. Spirit gun to the back. Arrow taking a lot, but Arrow dealing a lot. Going to find the only kill so far in this exchange. But the portal was so cute.
Yeah.
Did you see that portal dropping them directly into the shot? I mean, that that's the kind of teamwork we're going to need from Team Dignitas to be able to take the second game. But they had a pretty dreamy engage there, and at the same time, Arrow just not only getting out, but getting a kill.
You know what I want to see this game? I want to see Ragnarok in the solo lane getting hit by a 3 space in time.
Bart.
What, Brandon?
Team Dignitas got first blood.
Jace.
Team Dignitas has 1 more kill.
Jace.
Team Dignitas is down in gold and experience.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I just looked. I have no idea. Somehow it just has gone up and up and up and up and up and up, and they seem to have lost control over their lead.
I think it's because of the assists on the side of LC. 2 on 3 players. Bacchus, we're circling Bacchus' net worth here. At 3,800, he's 400 gold ahead of the Athena. A lot of it coming onto him with his pen boots and the Watcher's Gift. Lending itself to the...
Oh, no, they're not pen boots anymore, Bart.
Damage boots.
That would have been sick if you went pen boots.
And the Watcher's Gift, right?
Do we have a rule against that?
Yeah.
If you go pen boots, do you lose?
I don't even think you can get those, can you?
If anyone could find a way, though, Emilzy would be close to the top of that list.
But yeah, it's a level advantage. 500 gold. It's the Watcher's Gift really paying out as Emilzy has shown us yet again. He's one of the only players in the world that really favors this Watcher's Gift all the time and seems to make it work. But to me, the star of this game has been Arrow. Every time they've tried to gank him and they pulled 3 or 4 members of the team to do so, he's gotten at least 1 return kill. That also factoring in heavily into the experience advantage.
They got it.
The Hunbot's ultimate stops Frezzy's pursuit into the Gold Fury.
They're going to let him go.
They're going to kill Emilzy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The whole team's just like, see ya, bro, thanks for the hand, right? And then they just let him go. And they should have, because right there, they used multiple ultimates to take down a support. They use the teleport from Fenrir, which means he's losing farm. You can see that the creeps are dying to the tower on the top side. They might, and I mean might, get a tier 1 here. Even then, kind of unlikely.
Yeah, it's an Agni after all. Bombs are good at clearing. I mean, he can clear probably 2 waves without really putting himself in any kind of danger, and they can't siege that long. And away goes Dignitas to try and find farm elsewhere on the map. They aren't going to spot out this orange buff is up for London Conspiracy, and that'll go to the credit of Suntouch. Yet again, Suntouch not really having that standout pull-away game, not getting involved in those early kills as much as we saw last time. Does have the 2 assists to his credit, but is a bit behind individually of where Frosty X at. Obviously, the 2 kills making up for a lot of that. XP per minute, really indicating how the laning phase is going for LC. Tyr and Agni and Xbalanque all in the top 4 positions, but it's still pretty volatile right here. You see Artemis has just shot up into the 3rd spot as well, but Tyr kind of stands alone in that #1 farm position.
Once again, you know, we're looking at Snakeskin, who had a really unfortunate first blood. I mean, he just got straight up caught. He was out of position. He completely underestimated how much damage that Fenrir and Ymir were going to do at that stage of the game, and he paid for it. And yet, even so, you know, top farm in the game, and we're going to be looking at another game where Snakeskin is going to be like, hey guys, I am unafraid of you and will sit in front of you the entire time. And remember, Tyr, absolutely incredible against characters like Athena and characters like Ymir, because unyielding his passive dictates that he cannot be stunned or mesmerized or what have you for more than 1 second.
Yeah, no single hard CC application can last more than a second, and well, and when you start thinking about how diminishing returns stacks up with that,
he just laughs.
He just doesn't ever stop.
Wish he had the sock puppet to laugh.
No, it's not funny.
Do you need a hand? You get it? 10 minutes in, Fire Giant spawns, but I don't see any team going for it, at least in the immediate future. Realistically, the win condition for London Conspiracy here is get to endgame, right? Tyr's going to be more useful than Fenrir at this stage of the game. Hunbot's going to be way more useful. In fact, let's take a look at that. Overhand smash. Oh. Athena's ultimate wasted as well.
Yeah, one thing Fenrir does not have that much of, it's going to be those base protections. Has some decent base HP, but really kind of that hybrid assassin warrior in terms of his base stats, as well as really what he does. And yeah, he just gets annihilated by that crit. Intoxicate. Emilzy, is the fumes enough? It is. The noxious fumes do enough damage that final in-hand from Emilzy does the trick. He hogs another set of creeps, because why not? Trying to juke. Does juke, but the shotgun is there. He can only juke so long. Evades a couple in-hands, but still does go down. It's a decent trade, though. Why not? Go ahead and pick up that kill on a Frezzy for yourself. I mean, actually, it's a terrible trade. He was way ahead in terms of experience, but now this could be a very valuable kill for Dignitas. Snakeskin, but Frostiak respects the tier. Doesn't even make an attempt. That is the scariest ice giant I've ever seen. Yeah, he was scary. How are you going to be like an actual giant and you're going to be afraid of a normal man? Well, Tyr is a mountain of a man.
Fair.
He's beastie. From the same pantheon here, maybe he knows something we don't.
We actually haven't talked about the Fenrir tier dynamic. Fenrir should be winning this matchup as lore dictates, right?
Well, you know, maybe this is early on in Fenrir's life, before he's grown into his full potential. Although I guess he is unchained, so he's already kind of Ragnarok is happening, I guess, during the battle. So
this is the Fenrir Gaiden.
Yeah,
this is what it is.
We're
going back in time for this.
Okay, loving it.
I'm down. But so far, realistically, you know, you can see the growing pains that Fenrir has had. 0-2-3, a part of a few kills, but not able to find much himself. He's going a more tanky route, of course, with Runeforge Hammer, but, you know, with that, not a lot of damage, right? And when you think about damage on this team, of course, I'm not really thinking Snakeskin. I'm thinking Arrow.
Yeah, he's been the man. Arrow still the player of this game for me, especially through the first 12 minutes here. 5 kills to 4, though, in favor of Team Dignitas. They do not hold the gold or experience lead, as you mentioned. A little bit of a curious game in that regards. But it's still relatively close. The Gold Fury really the only thing separating the teams in terms of gold so far.
You know, I think I would agree. If London were to win this game, if it ended right now, Arrow would be my player of the game. But it's not over, and right now for me, it's got to be Shadow Nightmare. Not only is he topping the damage charts, but by almost 2K, but he's 3-0-1. He has a pretty low damaging build online in terms of what he can bring to the table. But still, I mean, Janus, even with a low damaging build, is going to swing.
Well, it's going to be, they're going to put up more damage on the Frosty. You know, they've dumped in the Ymir a couple times here so far. Shadow Nightmare trying to bail his teammate out, throwing out what damage you can on the Janus, but nothing cooking. Porting in a Sun Touch. Now it's a Mealsy trying to take that tower aggro, lead an Unstable Vortex for his shovel. But this will set up a Gold Fury attempt. No Ymir ultimate for that zoning. Hog 3 is still available on Frezzy. Is the ultimate from Hunbots back online yet? It is not.
Arrow is so dead.
Yeah, Arrow is going to need to brutalize, but no, the Athena ultimate does not come in to do the damage. Ragnarok off the mark. Arrow.
Is he alive?
Does he have a sprint?
Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, Gold Fury going down here. They're trying to get a kill onto Frezzy, but Dignitas steals it. The Swift Hog, Emilzy, for the first time this game, will drop an objective.
Variety to take a couple pot shots. No, leaping away. But does Agni have a sprint?
Yes, Agni definitely has sprint. Hey, I like it. Heavenly Agility, nothing to mess with, man. Every single team should have a Heavenly Agility, guaranteed.
Okay.
It almost kept him alive, too.
Yeah, it did. Just, why not Combat Blink?
Hard to say. I mean, again, Heavenly Agility, getting into the end game and giving some movement speed to Shaggy when he already has sprint up, going to be big. Making sure Tyr can reposition as well as he needs to, really big. Getting Sun Touch out of danger if he needs to overcommit. You know, really, really strong picks. And, you know, he's not going to be a character that needs to auto-attack all that much, so he's not going to want sprint himself. It's definitely going to be Heavenly, and I don't think it should be anything else.
Oh, yeah, it'll be Heavenly. There's no way he goes for a sprint 3 or an Achilles.
Could you imagine if he went Achilles Spear?
What?
I mean, Agni would be one of the few characters that you could, like...
Machine Gun Agni?
I mean, you could kind of say, like, all right, if you're going to build it, right, how about on this god that goes nowhere near the fight, that just throws a bunch of damage down? Timeout coming from Team Dignitas here. Should only be a second or two as they discuss their strategies. We're back in.
And away we go. There's a little bit of a CC exchange there between Emilzy and Frezzo, but nothing cooking.
Still 6-6, gold even, experience even. We have a very close game, but, you know, realistically, Team Dignitas with an early game comp, again, running out of time here. Frostiak having almost no exchange so far that has been positive aside from First Blood.
Snakeskin hunting for Fenrir. May have heard that howl. I think he did, and will find young Variety here. And this is always one of the more interesting gambits in Smite, is kind of right at that kill threshold for the Hand of the Gods. Variety is going to take probably a lot more damage than he wanted to in this exchange, and now realizes, I don't want to run away, I want to leap over the wall, because there it is, the Xbalanque ultimate being used in the mid lane. It's because there's an Ymir ultimate coming out, and Frostiak does a nice chunk of damage to Sun Touch, but it's not enough to find the kill, and he goes down himself. Another kill for London Conspiracy and Snakeskin. Yeah, he found Variety, and my guess is that he used the ultimate to do so. He did not even have to do that. Stun out, second stun comes through. Emilzy with the damage.
Greedy, greedy, greedy Arrow dashes into danger, trusting his team 100. Gets that one cleanly. London Conspiracy with 3 kills out of nowhere takes the gold and experience lead back in spades.
Yeah, they lose the Gold Fury. They still have the gold lead. They're going to take Tier 1 on the right side. Looks like Tier 1 in the mid lane as well, potentially. Emilzy has run Frezzy out of this fight. And yeah, they're going to find 2 Tier 1s back to back. A big gold insurgent insurgents influx, I guess is a much better word, into their coffers. It's 2,600, 2,700 gold now to the credit of London Conspiracy. Experiencing not really so much.
Yeah, he's going to stop him. He's stunned. No, okay, so Arrow got greedy again. Very, very greedy, backing in lane like that. Shaggy Shank, though, finding his first kill of the game. That's going to put one of those stacks online as well.
Hey, why not just go take a tier 1? Snakekin blinks in, takes that thing down right in front of Variety.
All three tier 1s dropped, like, across the map
at the same time and a kill in every lane.
That is the difference right now between London and Dig to me. Dig can team fight, and they can do well in it, but they never, like F. says, get the stuff after the stuff. London gets 3 kills, and they take 3 towers. Ragnarok?
Well, Fenrir is going to use Ragnarok, but Snakeskin goes for the slam jam in place. Still wants to fight for some reason. He's going to get double taunted out now along with Shaggy Shank. Xbalanque perfectly happy to stand in place and throw bolas at that Athena. Shadow Nightmare, he cannot take too many of these shots. He gets hit with 2 and already is uncomfortably low. And this is the danger period. We were saying a little maybe 16, 17. What the hell does Fenrir do now?
You know, I'm imagining the conversation and the comms that just happened between Shadow Nightmare and the rest of Dig, and it was just like, all right, guys, I'm coming, commit, 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 and then he comes over the wall, he gets a perfect shotgun, makes sure both hits nail Snakeskin to the back, does about a fifth of his health, and goes, well, never mind, guys, see you later.
He probably said blimey in there somewhere, too, because he's British, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
duh.
Totally.
Blimey.
Has to happen. Do we still use that word over in England?
Well, we don't.
I mean, well... Should I?
If you go there?
If I'm in Rome.
I mean, only if you want to fit in.
Do I act as the Romans do?
No, you act like you're from Britain.
I'm down. Blimey, another miss. No,
hey.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Belch of the God's going to be used there. Not going to find
Shadow
the
Nightmare with the fast fingers.
Yeah, he was trying for it there. Snakeskin, again, finds himself in front, taking some rather mediocre damage, and then healing it back up immediately with Power Cleave.
London Conspiracy, well, maybe they're kind of remembering what it was like at the end of last game. About the same situation. A 4,000 gold lead, around 19, 20 minutes here. A big fat old tier that's been really dictating the pace of the game. And they are deep in Dignitas' jungle, cutting off a lot of the farm opportunity around the map. And they've left Shaggy Shank on an island a little bit. The big difference here, Shaggy Shank a lot more invested in the farming than he is rotating into these fights, as we saw to the Honor. But that's just fine, because it is a Xbalanque at the end of the day. And he is a bit ahead, it looks like, of Young Bay. 2 levels, a couple thousand gold. Oh, I'm sorry, 1,000 gold. Definitely nothing to slouch at. 4 members
poor
of London Conspiracy at the top of the net worth chart.
Poor Artemis drafted over, but look at this. They're going to use the through space and time to rotate over cleanly and try to get that Fire Giant, but they don't have the damage for it. Without Artemis there, they had no opportunity, and they're going to be forced to escape.
Artemis is everything, and it's a fairly mid-game oriented build out of the Artemis as well. Ickfile.
Yeah.
I don't really know how much I love this item on this character. It just feels like, I mean, how long is really that period in which you have 3 items and you're just trying to box someone as Artemis? Seems like Executioner with a passive crit may be better. It's the dream initiation, basically. Ragnarok's going to keep a Mealsy in place, but they barely have enough damage to take down the Bacchus after dumping basically everything. And now this fight should be very, very good for London Conspiracy. There's only really 1 remaining ultimate used there by the Artemis. Snake's going to get stunned out of his Fearless Chain. That was actually huge. He's going to go down to the tower to the credit of Variety. And Dignitas, with that initiation, even though they weren't able to pick up a lot off of that initial burst, they do get that high-value tier kill, and it's opening up the Gold Fury for Dignitas to help recoup some of the gold they've lost. The experience should be leveling out after those 2 kills at this point in the game. The extra influx of gold from the Gold Fury should get it close if they can zone out Arrow long enough to secure it. That wall should seal the deal. It's a Gold Fury to the credit of Dignitas, and things are getting competitive again here.
Yeah, I don't really like the fact that they even attempted to walk near that. 5v3, they were asking for a luck win, right? That was a ranked decision, and they're going to lose some farm as a result of it. No one's controlling the solo lane right now. No one controlled left lane for a pretty long time. They kind of wasted 15 seconds there. Although you got to give props to Arrow for going directly for the med camps and cleaning them. Even after 5 of the enemy team walk by him almost directly, he still manages it.
Xbalanque now with the short sword and back in lane. Artemis is in the base, likely waiting on the last couple ticks of gold. Yeah, short sword of her own. But Xbalanque continuing. He'll keep pulling on ahead. He seems to be just kind of exactly what we see there, about maybe 30 to 45 seconds ahead of Artemis in all counts. The farm, his ability to go back, everything. He's a minute in the future.
Uh-oh, Suntouch in some trouble, might be caught here. There comes Snakeskin, trying to get something. We're going to get a good freeze there. Suntouch in a lot of trouble, will go down. Great teamwork coming out from Dig here. Completely new team, it seems, from the last couple minutes.
Through space and time, fired out to give them that, that ability to back up. Variety still getting a lot of use out of these Ragnarok ultimates this late in the game. It's really kind of showing us his comfort maybe with this god. It's definitely, you're definitely in danger of falling off very, very critically at this point. But he's actually been the deciding factor in the last couple of fights. He ports back into a ward now. They want to find a Mealsy. Jumps over the top for the bonus damage. Should be enough for the Bacchus. And yes, the beautiful positioning from Variety is there. But look, it took 3 hits of Brutalize to kill that Bacchus, who had a sliver of HP so small you could barely even see it.
Tanky. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is how tanky is Bacchus, how much can he control. Fire Giant going to be gestured towards, it seems. They'll clean up a ward, and yeah, they're going to start it. Shadow Nightmare, never mind, throws out a shotgun and then just begins to tank it. They're going to give that one to Variety. They did reset as well, so a small gain in health there does the Fire Giant gain.
Shaggy Shank, he crits Frezzy a couple times during that taunt. He was a bit out of position there, but uses the Rising Jaguar to bail. Heavenly Agility used as well. That's a little bit of a curious insight into hi-rez. I believe, I want to say yes, but well, maybe I'll have to qualify it, but the only character in the game in which his movement ability scales off of his movement speed. Rising Jaguar, the dash portion will go significantly further the faster you're going, so the Heavenly Agility allowing him to bail exceptionally far away.
Still 1 kill advantage here for Dig. Gold difference even. It's only about 600. Experience difference 1,500, which at this stage is definitely even. Variety actually with a level advantage over Snakeskin, but Frostiak a level behind here. Young Bay in some trouble. They can't afford to lose Artemis here. Not sure why they are all deciding to go for the boar, or why the boar hit the wrong target there. But really, either way.
Really poor ultimate out of Suntouch here, and you're seeing Dignitas realizing that, trying to re-engage in this fight. Frostiak getting fairly low on the front line, being chased down, but the wall is there. Xbalanque unable to make it over that Rising Jaguar, but Suntouch re-engages. And even with kind of that blown Fear No Evil, it doesn't matter. London Conspiracy powerful enough to still clean that fight up and get a kill onto Frostiak, who maybe this is who we really should be talking about falling off in the later stages of the game. He's blown his load in these fights a few times, and it's really hit or miss. If he doesn't find a kill, he pretty much has died every time. 3 and 3 and 4. And his ability to really impact the game is going to start falling off, even though he is the second highest net worth, right behind that Fenrir on the side of Dignitas. That's what you have to be worried about, I guess, right? Is that your 2 highest net worth players really don't scale well.
It's hard for me to get behind the beats pick for Ymir, right? I mean, he's going to build E-Staff into, from the Wing Blade, and now it looks like he's going into the Void Stone, right? I mean, he's going very tanky and then wants to get beads to maybe stop from him absorbing too much damage. Granted, he's not going to have a lot of health gain, but I mean, something like a Shell or a Heavenly Agility for his team, or a Weakening Curse, just to even stop Xbalanque from healing. Like, this kind of stuff is really important, but he goes for beads, and I mean, let's say he gets the freeze off,
Shaggy.
Right? Getting hit by the Fire Giant.
Yeah, come on, buddy. You're better than that, Shaggy.
Standing inside the
mud.
lava pools.
Yeah, he's not having fun. Ultimate from Frostiak there. They don't find anything. Variety comes and tries to make something out of it. Oh, you can go through the portal as the large dog. Who knew?
Variety in a lot of trouble, getting some damage reduction here. Athena's going to come down, dealing some damage to Emil. Snakeskin in the back line, still fighting for, and somehow dodging the shotgun? He dodged that. That was not a mistake.
That fight, it still could get worse, but it could have been significantly worse. If Frezzy not found a 3-man taunt the backside of that one, and here comes Snakeskin. He finds the combo with a Fearless Chain. He's tanking up the tower. Overhand Smash is there. Suntouch finds a kill. That fight could have gone worse earlier had Frezzy not found that 3-man taunt and dodged a shotgun, but it still is 3 down for Dignitas. London Conspiracy charging forward to the right side Phoenix, and it's going to be tough to hold them out here. Shadow Nightmare, he is Janus. He does have a good bit of damage, and they have an Artemis as well, but those bolas, they hurt bad.
Yeah, right now, remember, adding 50 damage to the board, only getting 5, though, from his passive. Even so, they take the right side Phoenix, they take the Fire Giant, they took 3 kills, they're going to take another tier 2. Gold lead skyrocketing right now, was even. It was a 600 gold lead. They somehow have turned that into 6,200 in the blink of an eye.
Up 1-0 in the best of 3. London Conspiracy now with a commanding lead and a chance to knock Dignitas into a very unlikely situation to make it into the land.
They still need their opponents to lose a few. I mean, they're rolling dice at this point, hoping for the best. But they're giving themselves the best possible chance here with this series. Completely dominant in Game 1. Game 2, back and forth here. As you can see the graphs, they're going up, they're going down, they're going up, they're going down. But finally, again, have skyrocketed back up 7,500 gold thanks to the Gold Fury. They're going to spend a ridiculous amount of in-hand gold, and they're going to work their way over towards the left side where one more Tier 2 stands, but just barely.
Yeah, that's really the final structure remaining on the map for Team Dignitas. Luckily, they do have the most protection on that side that's far from the Fire Giant. The Phoenix that is down is the right side, so they can kind of stay on the right side of the map more or less, just split their Janus to push the lane up. He can rotate very quickly and still defend that Fire Giant when it comes back up. So, you know, not the worst position to be in, but definitely not ideal.
We're going to ride along with Arrow as he and Emilzy group up here to clear the wave, making sure they're going to have the best opportunity to take this tower down safely. They're going to want minions to do that. Remember, when minions are passed and into the tower line, it's going to reduce the amount, or rather increase the amount of damage that the tower will take.
Well, down goes that Tier 2. Shaggy Shank, if he remains unchecked like he did in the last engagement, this Phoenix is likely to fall. And now it's just a matter of will the engagement be appropriate? Can Frezzy, Variety, and Frostiet combine for an insta-gib onto a target with this Ymir ultimate? That's the play for them here.
Here we go.
And it's going to break out at any moment. We're riding along with Shaggy Shank. Look for him. If he doesn't get controlled in this fight too much, it's going to be ugly. They've dumped now 2 big CCs into him. The damage did not come through. Rising Jaguar takes him out. Arrow surging forward with the bomb.
Snakeskin
control. Snakeskin with a 2-man fearless chain has likely just won the game for London Conspiracy. A lot of damage out onto Snakeskin, but he is here in the front line. Shaggy Shank now gets some nice pot shots in, but Shadow Nightmare Spirit Gun on the mark here over the top with the Slam Jam. Finds the dunk, but now in a bit of trouble trying to juke. Tries to go for the old Top Gun stop start with the Fearless. Doesn't find it. Sun Touch trying to bail. Arrow in a lot of trouble. It's Shadow Nightmare a little bit too crunchy with his own port forward. Gets Arrow in the dead zone. He's going to go down to the minions perhaps here, but Shaggy Shank and Sun Touch may be able to surge back forward. If this slow hits onto Youngbase, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and he does go down. Sun Touch with the crits. Now Shaggy Shank versus the Janus, and he's happy to lifesteal up.
That was a big misplay by Sun Touch there. He should not have cleared that wave. Shaggy Shank could have utilized his Devourer's gauntlets to make sure that he could heal himself up quickly. But Sun Touch going to keep the pressure on here. With Frezzy alive again, him and Shadow Nightmare should be able to hold this down. A messy yet successful defense here for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, that was a sloppy fight. Just really went on for a long time. Snakeskin's Fearless Chain should have been enough to turn that one, but taking a bit too much damage was Emilzy, as well as the Tier there. And they both fall, and then the fight really collapsed. And a nice Spirit Gun from Shadow Nightmare to kind of pick off the Xbalanque and keep him out of the fight, force him to lifesteal in the jungle as well.
We're almost 30 minutes in, Bart. We've seen so far, I think, 1 Fire Giant. Yeah, 4 Gold Furies, though. Definitely a lot of potential there. 2 for each team, so going to equal out there. And still, gold difference still massively in favor of London. That was a really impressive defense, right? They're like 10,000 gold in the hole. They have a huge experience loss. They were fighting against the Fire Giant-enabled team. They already had a Phoenix down that they had to deal with, and they successfully get it back up and defend their left Phoenix. That is really impressive stuff.
29 minutes, 45 seconds. Fire Giant, numero dos for LDNC. And it's easily cleaned up, not even making a play there. Is Dignitas. They're trying to get a little bit, push out the lanes with the Artemis and the Janus, and mount a defense at this right side Phoenix sitting at 50%. Here comes London Conspiracy, and this fight likely to dictate the game. Team Dignitas. Can they hold out? Look at all the Magi's Blessing spam purchase from London Conspiracy.
That's my favorite thing right now to do. If you have a 10,000 gold lead, that is a Magi's for everybody. Yeah,
it's such a cost-efficient item. And especially against the Athena and Ymir that's so reliant on the lockdown with the Ragnarok as well. It just sets up all their damage. Such a CC-oriented team. Not to mention the chain stunts out of the Artemis boar. Never fun to deal with without a Magi's Blessing.
They're trying to find a way in, but yeah. Dignitas really keeping them back. There goes the blink. Snakeskin going to get in there, not going to find much.
That is a Fear No Evil. That's the one you're looking for at the end of the game. We always say Hunboxes are hard to play in the late game because if you miss that Fear No Evil, you likely lose the fight. But there, it's a brilliant initiation. Even if they lose Snakeskin here on being over-aggressive, it doesn't matter. Variety goes down. Athena Ultimate's been used now onto the Artemis as well. Not much cooking. The crits come through.
Holy, Shaggy's alive!
Shaggy Shank and Sun Touch. He life steals enough off of one big 790 damage crit to keep him alive through that Ymir ult, and then just barely. Sunny could be in a bit of trouble here, but he's critting like a madman up against that Athena. Overhand smash in place. Doesn't find what he was looking for, but does clear out the minions. And now with the Fire Giant buff, taking him back up, Shaggy Shank, 50% HP, looking for the final Phoenix and looking to seal the victory is London Conspiracy. And they're going to dash the hopes of Dignitas to be one of the top 2 teams in the season while keeping their own alive.
All 3 Phoenixes have died, and they're going to back off here with a 3-man power play. Spirit Gun coming through, going to do some damage, but not enough to really gain anything. Shaggy Shank, it looks like, will go down towards the Gold Fury and get... No, yeah, they're going to let it go. I like that better. You don't really need the gold at this stage. Just back, spend your gold, finish the game.
Yeah, Shaggy could easily solo it at this point, but why bother? He's 6-slotted now. He's going to finish off his Rage Blade on top of the Deathbringer Executioner. Ykfile, the next to go. If this game continues going, likely in favor of the Malice at this point. It's kind of the in vogue build. Could be a Titan's Bane as well.
I can't believe how far ahead Shaggy is. He is, in gold, a Deathbringer ahead of Artemis at this stage.
Aye.
That's 50 damage. 50% damage on your crits and 20% crit. That is effectively how far ahead he is at this stage.
Well, what he's actually worked out to, right, is it's an Executioner and a Rage Blade ahead. So
as opposed to like a Light Blade and the Bluestone Pendant.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the massive crit chance from the Rage Blade plus a little bit of additional power, and then a nice amount of power plus the penetration.
Wait, why is SunTouch just fighting people by himself?
Because he's Goku.
Yes, he is.
And the people of Earth have lent him his strength. SunTouch, double kill.
Yeah, that was a big spear bomb.
Yeah.
Also, I made that reference to Gandhi, and he didn't get it.
Well, it's
very upset.
Should have made a fishing reference.
I don't think I could. How could I have done that? That was a straight bass.
We spent a whole afternoon with Scott trying to explain to us how big pro fishing was, and no one could believe him.
So back to the game, where the game could end. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, there was. I mean, what were they gonna do?
I mean, like I didn't.
Agni bombs and like 1 crit.
Jeez, that died fast. And with a 2-0 win, London Conspiracy finds themselves with a slim but still possible chance of going to LAN.
They did it, and they also have made Dignitas pretty sad because they now don't really control their own destiny, plus they have a really tough game next week out of Titan. So
yeah, Dig is not in a good spot.
No, this was a really important game for them to win.
London next week, I'm pretty sure fights Fnatic?
Yeah, I think so. They have a pretty tough.
Yeah,
they
either
have
way,
to win
like,
a really hard match.
This is still not looking very good for London.
But did look good though. Was the first blood. My transition was better and faster. Let's take a look at it.
So this is where Frostyak looks strong this game. You hear the freeze, right? And then Brutalize doing some damage, and then 1 good shot. Frostbite was still active there, and they send Humbots back as well. I mean, they did a lot of damage very quickly, and I think what that comes down to is why didn't they try to stop this Ymir in the early game?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Imagine if he died early and didn't have that pot.
The invade you're talking about, right. Yeah, had they taken away the pot. Let's take a look at how the jungle went, though, for both teams. What was the control around the map? And here it comes. 38% of the speed buffs went to the side of Dignitas. I mean, look at that. 62% and 64%. So 9 out of 14 of their red buffs on the map went the way of LC. Some very successful invades for them. And obviously the most important creep of them all, Fire Giant. 100% control for London Conspiracy.
Both of them going in very cleanly. It didn't seem like either one was very contested whatsoever.
Yeah, neither. That's absolutely true. Back camps also slightly in their favor. The early game steal out of Frezzy. Not enough to give it their side, but we do have a player of the game, guys. And it's going to be the captain this time. The leader of the game just squad himself at SunTouch. 7-1 and 11 as Hunbots in the jungle. That is a slash line.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, the guy went off all game. We saw him go in the end of the game and fight 2 people by himself, which is, despite the fact that he won, still a bad idea.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, to me, it was really the
nonsense.
We'll see if it's in his reel here. The ultimate. He just leaps in and ults, and that first real attempt to break the base with the first Fire Giant buff, and it was just an absolute doozy. And really, to me, kind of dictated the pace of the endgame. I think it had just happened that we're seeing here. The Artemis War was in reaction. The Athena ultimate was used as well to kind of, they thought they were going deep there. And then those big crits, this is where Shaggy Shank barely stays alive, killing off the Ymir. And to set that up, it was a play that set that up that was really, and here's the double kill at the end of the game where he just says, I'm going to fight you now. What are you going to do? And
he kills him, and then Frostyak's right there with his beads, right? Doesn't beads through to try to save, because he realizes that, hey, Magi's blessing.
Like here. Deciding to jump.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know about that jump.
But not only does he get away with it, but he destroys it. In fact, let's hear it from the horse's mouth itself.
Suntouch, are you there?
Hello, guys.
How are you? Congratulations on your victory over Dignitas.
Real quick.
Thank you.
Are you guys still saying blimey?
Are we saying blimey? I've never heard anyone say that in England, DM.
All right.
It was a big point of contention for us here during the cast.
So actually, I want to start off.
You go.
Normally, we do this whole thing where you do shout-outs and stuff at the end. First things first, the way that you played that game, people need to watch you. Where can we find you? Where are you playing every day, Suntouch? Tell us about it.
You can find me on Twitch, TV/Suntouch, every day. Come hang out, say hi.
Simple
Love
enough.
you guys.
Please do. It's a great stream.
So, Hunbots for you in both games. Hunbots rising the ranks rapidly as the most favored jungler behind Thor. Can you tell us a little bit about the monkey and why you think he's so highly valued in the meta currently?
It was mainly a pick against Dignitas. Frostiak's kind of been picking it every week.
Okay.
And he controls that kind of team fights with that. So that's why they tried to pick Ymir in the last game, to have some control there.
Oh, we went back
so
and forth
just picked it away from them.
Raw bands.
Yeah, okay.
Were the raw bands targeted at Shadow Nightmare or at Variety or both? Or what was the thinking behind banning the chicken?
We just copied what Trig did.
Say la vie.
I mean, if you're going to copy a team, right?
Might as well be the #1, I guess.
Not bad. So tell us a little bit. It's been a few weeks since the roster changes. You bring in Arrow, Snakeskin doing really well. Tell us about your hopes for the team as you're going forward, because I mean, the way you guys have been playing, it's been a pretty incredible transition.
Well, we're still a new team. We learn stuff every week, which is great. Huge shout-outs to Snakeskin this week. Absolutely great performance. We're really hoping to qualify to LAN or at least come top 4 and just keep progressing. And our main aim is Worlds.
Wow. Okay, so they're aiming all the way down the line. I like that.
So, Suntouch, we'll let you go after this one here, but what's it like to have like your mom be so involved in the Smite scene? Like, it's really like a unique situation that you find yourself in. No one else's moms are in chat, so shout out to Mom Touch. But just kind of like, what's that like? What's this experience been like for you guys?
It's pretty funny. I mean, she sits outside my room listening and pacing up and down the corridor, and she's really involved. At the end of the game, she hears us winning. She comes in and she's like, "Whoa!" So she's really into it, and it's actually brought us a lot closer together, to be honest. So it's been nice.
She came into my chat once giving away codes. She's like, "DM, don't ban me. I'm just posting codes." I'm like, "Oh my."
And then you banned her though. So yeah, we'll let you go, buddy. Any shout outs or call outs before you go?
No, shouts to our sponsors and just shout out to my team. Awesome bunch of people. I love them all.
All right, well, we love you too, and congratulations on your victory over Team Dignitas. That does it for us from set #1 out of Europe. Coming up next, it's North American action. Enemy Esports versus AFK Gaming in a best-of-3 coming to you next year for our Saturday broadcast. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a few moments with North American action from the Smite Pro League.